And so you can just start and you can say whatever. If you want to introduce yourselves or just say, welcome to our place.
Hey, this is LifeKit and welcome to the Makery. DeAndre is Royal.
Austin Henry the first. But no, we're at the Makery, collective retail space in Durham, North Carolina. Featured vendors here among a slew of other North Carolina-based makers and creators. But yeah, welcome. We'll kind of go inside and show you around. Should be pretty festive. So yeah, hopefully the lighting is good.
Looks great in here.
Kara, do you want to have them just like looking at me as opposed to looking at the camera?
Yeah. You can just talk to Cassidy.
Just talk to me.
Great. So yeah, the Makery's been open for a few years now. We've been in here for maybe about a year, a little over.
Yeah, about 9 months actually.
About 9 months.
Well, really, let's just tell you a little bit about LifeKit, if you will, about how we actually got in here. As you know, this is LifeKit Lifestyle Company, an accessories and apparel company. LifeKit stands for Love, Energy, Knowledge, and Time. We got our start 2007, 2008, making jewelry and accessories, necklaces and bracelets for our friends, and kind of caught on, and people appreciated the energy and the meaning behind what we stood for and what the brand was about, and kind of developed a cult following amongst the people that were in our community, and we branched off into a campaign that was really powerful for us. Austin did some work overseas in Kenya, and really impacted how we thought about some of the things that we were doing, and that's where Stay Humble came about, and that was really big because people appreciated that from so many different walks of life, and I think that was like something that really catapulted a lot of energy and movement for us as a brand, and here we are now at the Makery, and still serving up humble pies, if you will, and we have some transitional things going on, some new brands coming out that people can be excited about that we have not yet even talked about yet. So this is a first exclusive for you guys right here. And what else? We can cut it, can we?
Yeah. Oh no, we're totally gonna cut this. I mean, we're gonna edit it down to like
2 minutes.
minutes video.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
that'll be tight. So maybe do you guys just want to like show us like around your
Yeah, just show us some of their
some of your
products.
clothes and.
Yeah, so we're gonna stick to the rack. So yeah, this is actually a summer, kind of some Look Smart summer collection. Some colorways that probably actually most people have never even seen. Some tank tops, some baseball quarter-length tees, and some of this. Really, this is our classic Stay Humble tee. Really, what we started with is just really very simple design. And again, maybe some Carolina blue for the, for the Dukies.
Also a Duke hue too, though, right behind the orange anyway. So we got love for Duke and Carolina. Second shirt.
Exactly.
Wait, so how did you guys decide on the campaign Stay Humble?
Yeah, so it's kind of happened really organically. We started with buttons, which I'm gonna give you guys. I'm gonna give you guys your buttons right now. But we started by just giving people buttons that says "Stay Humble" on it. Really, just as a way to kind of spread the idea of humility, is giving away stickers and buttons. Kind of just caught on like a virus, and so we just started building T-shirts and sweatshirts. But really, it was just our way to really push the values that we felt we wanted to spread. We wanted the world to kind of connect the world around this idea of humility and empathy. So that's kind of the more like organic explanation of it.
How did you guys decide on the Makery?
The Makery.
Or when did you guys start selling your stuff at the Makery, and how does that help your brand? Or
So about 9 months ago, we decided to sell our stuff in the Makery. Really is a localized strategy to allow our Durham-based and Triangle-based customers to have another access point to our brand. We sold primarily online at trunk shows and at trade shows, and so we thought that we met the young ladies at the bakery, and it just felt like it would be a good way to have this kind of continue our grassroots approach in a very homegrown and grassroots retail space.
Yeah, that's cool.
Hey, this is about entrepreneurship, right? Is there any well, you can get in the shot. This is for both of us. So this is about entrepreneurship. So are we talking about like entrepreneurship in Durham, or
It's kind of like taking entrepreneurs, but finding their story. So like what's in them.
Yeah, we just want to tell y'all's story to the best. We're not trying to get like marketing advice or anything like that. We really just want to know like why you guys do what you do. And like
if you love it, if you hate it.
What motivates you to get out of bed in the morning, you know, like what keeps you guys going.
It's absolutely hard. Like the definition of entrepreneurs is, it's really about investing time and money into something that you have a vision for, but you don't necessarily know what the outcome is going to be. And so it is a hard thing to do, especially when the return may not always be monetary. It may be smiles from young ladies. It may be just people just kind of getting the brand, and so yes, it's definitely a difficult thing.
So what would you say that y'all's biggest struggle has been so far with this whole project, with this whole business that you guys are creating?
Biggest struggle? I would say it's being able to like stay consistent, consistent in the energy, consistent
Wait, sorry, I'm gonna pause really quick. So, since I'm editing myself out, it would be cool if you could say like, my biggest struggle is, and then go from there.
Cool, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, so I would say my biggest struggle, or our biggest struggle, has been being able to stay consistent. Hold on,
Okay, one more time.
Yeah. So you're asking what has been our biggest struggle in
create together and then provide shots of you guys talking, but then shots of you guys like looking at your clothes and shots of you guys walking around Durham to like make it more of a story. Am I in this though? Okay.
Nope, you're not.
Cool. Sure, I would say my biggest struggle, our biggest struggle, has been being able to stay consistent. So we started our brand in our colleges, right? So we were in college. We had access to this large market of people that we could sell our products to or supported us, and it was easy to tap into that network, right? So then you have to go to a different level beyond that, and it's not the same market. You have to be more strategic. You have to know exactly who you're trying to serve and what it is that they want, not what you want to give them, you know what I mean? And so it's just being able to take some of the things that you learn in that first realm and apply it to the next, but being able to like keep that going is a challenge. That's the challenge. That if you can do that, then you can make it. But that's really one of the biggest things.
Why'd you guys pick Durham?
We were here in school, you know what I mean? The energies just came here. I came from Fayetteville. Austin came from Omaha, Nebraska. Pierre came from High Point, North Carolina. We convened here, buy whatever matters, and our stories are crazy like that. And this has been our home base ever since the beginning. So Durham is love. Durham is a great community. It has a lot of energy here. A lot of different people are doing different things, and I think the culture here really promoted what we were doing and appreciated what we had to offer. So yeah.
Oh, maybe don't say that.
We can't do it. That's
well, so if you notice, like most of the stuff in here is like Durham entrepreneurs, but the branding and messaging is to really kind of spotlight Durham. Out of the clothing has Durham logos and things on it. But we also have some very nice soaps and some consumer goods here as well. I particularly love this soap here.
That's cool.
It's organic, and I like organic soaps. So
Durham.
yeah, and so our brand is edit this. Edit that. I don't want to say that. Yeah. So actually, your if I'm not mistaken, your professor's book is in here somewhere. If it's still here.
Which professor?
I think Amy. I think
No,
Amy has.
Charles, I mean,
Oh, this
Carl.
is.
Carl.
Maybe not. 'Cause
Creative
so, I
Populist
don't know if you know.
Revolution.
So,
Oh, here it
Carl's.
is. Oh, he has another book too.
Yeah.
That's cool. Tight.
Our customers in the past have been from more denser urban areas like DC, New York, Atlanta, LA, with some loyals in the area, people that who kind of seen the brand evolve over time. And that's the story that we're really telling is the brand's evolution over time, and that's been a really interesting story. That and the transparency in this actual interview is a part of that story, and kind of a snapshot in time, if you will, of really what we have going on and what we have planned for the future.
That's cool.
When you guys were little kids, did you ever imagine you'd be doing something like this?
I did. I think my family has some entrepreneurial situations. My grandmother owned a beauty salon. My uncle owns car repair shops. And when I was in high school, middle school, I used to make clothes for people who sell them or whatnot. So it's always been something that I wanted to do as far as like owning my own business or being in the creative space. So I've just continued to try to nurture that, if I could, by just doing the things that I do now. So
That's
I
cool.
appreciate that. Yeah.
That's really cool.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Man, I wanted to be a secret agent. I wanted to be a Secret Service agent. I mean, I've always been kind of creative and always been like a type of person that wanted to brand either myself or things, and enjoyed having customers. I sold, tobacco products out of my dorm room in college. But really, more so for me, I watched my mom climb the corporate ladder, and I always said that I wanted to do that in a different way, and kind of take what I saw her do and kind of translate that into kind of my passions.
So why do you guys just it's a really hard decision to become an entrepreneur and it's a big risk. So why did you guys choose to do something like this instead of a 9-to-5 cubicle job?
I mean, I feel like that's a question that a lot of people ask, why do you decide to do that? I think it's just a choice that you make whether or not you want to be happy or you want to follow a traditional route or you want to be safe. I think a lot of sometimes that has to do with fear or not wanting to make certain choices or not sure about what path you want to take. And I think certain people just are okay with taking that risk and failing and trying it again or stopping and taking another route. But I think you just have to be able to be a person to say, yeah, I'm just going to make that decision and do it. I mean, it's this life that we live right here is very, very short in the grand scheme of things, the years that we have to do anything. And so, there's always opportunities for you to sit in a box all day and make things happen. So, just feel like it's just a different mentality sometimes, man. And it's good to have people around you that have that same, personality to be able to motivate you or push you to not be afraid to make that decision and be okay with you when you do fail or whatever. So that's important to your energy circle or your chemistry that you have with the people. So
I'm kind of piggybacking off of that. There's a lot of college kids who are going through that same thing of what do I do in my life? So do you guys have any advice to them or what you would say to those people struggling with that?
So the cost to get to market is a lot lower than it was 10, 15 years ago. Every year it gets easier to create value and to distribute and sell that value. For college students, for anybody, you can fail fast, right? It's easy to fail fast at a low cost to your time and your energy, and I think that's actually really important to understand is that the opportunities that are out there, if you know, have an idea, you can put it in front of a market or put it in front of a consumer. And you know, you can really learn a lot from just going out there and failing, going out there and trying, and developing those relationships and developing those competencies and those networks. I think it's really about networking and having, understanding the value of your network, understanding your strengths, and understanding how you can leverage those strengths to create value in the marketplace.
Cool. Anything for you?
I think that pretty much sums it up. I mean, I was kind of just kind of thinking about that extra hard. What was the question again?
It was like if college
Give
kids,
advice to
yeah, if
college
you could
kids.
give advice to college
Or
kids,
young
you could just like
entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
say it to her.
If I could give advice to young entrepreneurs, yeah. I mean, I kind of said it, alluded to it in the previous comment or response or whatnot, when it was talking about not being afraid to like make that decision to try something, not being afraid to fail, and not being afraid to fail again and repeatedly until you do something that is amazing or that you really appreciate. So, just it's so easy for us to say that, you know what I mean, and then. But it's harder to do, you know what I mean? I think having people around you is also so important too. Like, because in college, like, this is the first opportunity that you're around, like, so many people at one time, and like, you could be highly influenced by like certain individuals that may not put you in the right path. So it's important just to be aware of your circle and be aware of who you're spending your time with and what they have going on. You know what I mean? And surrounding yourself with people that you want to like be that you can aspire to be like or be better than, you know what I mean? Or not be better than, you know what I'm saying, be better than, but
Yeah.
to like surround yourself with people who you think are doing things that you want to do or you see yourself doing or anything like that, you know?
Yeah, you definitely become, you're the average, you know, of the people that you're around. You become, you know, especially in your formative years as, you know, a college student, 19. When we started the company, we were like, I was like 22, 23, I think. And so definitely a time in my life when I was like trying to, you know, I was mature and I was like trying to figure out coming to my own as like a man, you know, as a black man too, like just saying, you know, this is like what I wanted my mark on the world to be. This is what I wanted my peers. This is my kind of talking more of my legacy, my peers, and so really it's just about again putting yourself in that environment, in that ecosystem that nurtures your creativity and your mind, and then again know how to take calculated risks. I mean, again, kind of piggybacking on something I was saying earlier is that you can fail. So the quicker you fail, the lower the cost is, right? And so it's even you can fail quicker than you did. You can fail quicker now than you could do when we first started. You know, like so. And again, failure is not a bad thing. It's like a learning experience.
Sorry, can you say that one more time? Failure is not a bad thing. Just because of the cough, we have to like edit it out.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, failure is not a bad thing. It's a learning experience, and it's you know, if you do it right, you can fail forward, right? You can fail and advance, you know, your ideas and fail to advance your brand. We fail all the time. We fail before, so yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Things happen. I think that, I mean, you're supposed to be around people who you aspire to be like, or so I mean, hang around entrepreneurs, bro. That's what that is about, man.
Yeah, the creativity, the innovation, the ingenuity, it's definitely an energy that keeps us around, allows us to kind of sow, again, something.
Okay. So let me just return this one.
Again, is that music gonna bother you, Cassidy?
No, I think it's good. Let me just make sure I don't hear it on the. Yeah, I was thinking maybe we could get like soft light or something, but I guess we don't even really need it.
No.
It's perfect.
So you dance, you can dance jazz dances.
Not as well. I did like a lot of like musical theater and stuff,
Yeah.
but I'm definitely more into like jazz singing.
Singing, so you
Yeah.
can sing pretty well.
So you guys ready to get
Yeah,
started
we're ready.
again? So I'm curious to hear each of you guys say why you guys, like, I stay humble because. Like, why do you guys stay humble?
That's a good question. Did you ask that question not knowing that we did a campaign about that? That was.
No, I watched the
didn't.
campaign
Oh,
and
yeah.
I
I
like
didn't.
that.
Oh, okay. So
Or I
you
just
already
like
knew
hear
that
it.
happened.
Or how do you guys stay humble?
Or, like-
I don't know. I think in general, I think it's a difficult thing to do when you get older and grow a business.
Like, how is that integrated into your lives?
I think that just recognizing that there are, my situation is fortunate in a sense, you know what I mean? Where I come from, the circumstances that have gotten me here, you know what I mean? Whether it be parents or family, education that I may have received, or people that I've been around, like, and there's a alternate situation where people didn't receive those same resources or access to education or people or family or whatnot, and you know their path has been different than mine. You know what I mean? And to me, that I'm humbled that my path is the path that it's been, and appreciate that and respect that, and not take that for granted, and use that path that I've been fortunate enough to travel to, like, affect others. You know what I mean? And also, like, just affect something significant in the world as well. So I think that is kind of the vibe or the wave that I feel like that it comes from my perspective, you know.
Yeah, so I stay humble because, no, I mean, you know, one of the things I realized is that, you know, there's a lot of things I want to be able to do, and a lot of, you know, with those things, I want to be able to impact, you know, the world and my community. And so I realized that with that responsibility comes a level of humility and kind of authenticity and you know, being genuine. I had some experiences early on overseas, and was able to see and experience a world where there was very little hope and very little economic mobility. You know, from that, I just realized that, you know, being in the United States is, and having the opportunity to, you know, develop ideas and innovate and you know, explore your gifts. You know, that's a blessing in itself, and I think that all too often, you know, we forget about that blessing. So really, that's something that, you know, stay humble. I use it as a way to kind of remind myself of one of the blessings that I have, the people in my life, the opportunities I've been afforded, and also just understanding that, you know, I was you know, born with some innate gifts, and it's my responsibility to share those with the world.
That's cool.
I think so we can do a joint interview where that we kind of talk about them and who they are, like, together, and then
Yeah.
would it be all right to do like also one-on-one interviews? That'd be awesome.
So maybe just like,
We don't have to do too many more questions since we had a lot there.
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you just want to like break it up now?
I think we can ask like one or two. Like,
One
how
more.
did you guys meet? Can you describe that and how your friendship formed and then turned into a business partnership?
Yeah. So this is like the true Hollywood. So, what else? No, so we were actually, we met at North Carolina Central University, pursuing, you know, fraternal entrance for all things fraternal. Yeah, we met under those conditions. You know, it's kind of hard to get into the details of that, but yeah, we met under those conditions and kind of fostered a relationship from that. Yeah.
And then so you met, and then how did that turn into LifeKit Lifestyle Company?
Well, there's a third business partner, right, who I had a previous relationship with. Like, we were roommates. We transferred to NCCU at the same time from separate schools, but we knew each other before we transferred. And we met here, and he actually is in a fraternity with Austin here. And so there is a triangle of relationship here that intertwines or whatnot. And what was the question again? I know it's how we met, but you asked a follow-up question.
It's like a weird, like.
What was your follow-up?
How you became business partners.
So yeah,
okay,
you became friends,
right.
and then how did LifeKit Lifestyle come out of that?
Pierre and I were roommates together, and we started a company, making jewelry and bracelets and accessories. We started LifeKit together, right? A spring break. And
Wait, sorry, say that again?
we started LifeKit together during a spring break, Pierre and I. We were living together, and we made bracelets and necklaces, and that's kind of where the beginning of the company came. And Austin was introduced, and he came in and brought his energy significantly while he was, again, overseas doing his thing. I was noticing that yesterday when I was speaking at
It's totally fine.
It's okay.
Carl's class, and I was looking at the film. I was like, yo, I'm saying, hell of a fucking lie. I gotta stop that. So I'm thinking about it now. So I'm trying to stop now, right? So here we go. So I told you about the Austin coming in from Kenya, and while we were already doing our thing, and we that energy was great, and we continued to make that happen. And that's the LifeKit had already started, and Austin came in, and we continued to make that happen, right? So is that answering the question about where we came from, us meeting, and to where LifeKit came in?
Yeah, that's cool. I like the bracelets. They're tight. Do you still sell the bracelet?
We do. We're actually developing a more focused line of accessories.
That's cool. That's cool.
Any more questions? Or do you think we can break them up now?
I think we can just do individual ones and then